Hello, Eugero. I start the recording of the second method for the simulation of Hinata address. This simulation will use the same method as Boskert, the previous tutorial. I start the program. I import Genesis as collision object. I import init address as close, and I will use I don't use the default parameters. I want to use rigidification by extension, and I will use a self-collision with the distance equal to 1, computation of the self-collision by normals, and in the two directions. I keep these parameters, and I import the clause. Okay. I want to link the clause to the character, so I will use a nail to collision for this part. I stock it in the memory, and I use a free edge, and I add to the first selection these vertices. So I add these vertices, and I show all the contents of the memory. I apply an aid to collision. In the first tutorial, we see a default on the upper part of the dress, so I will correct this by using a selection and by applying a scale value. Okay, all is correct, but the self-collision will not work correctly because there is a relation between the two layers, and the self-collision system will forget the ability of the self-collision. It is necessary to apply self-collision by extension, like in the Boskert tutorial. I can use a free edge by I will make a first selection of the two parts of the dress. This part, I remove the memory. I clear the memory. I add these vertices in the memory. I add the other part. I add in the memory. It is the content of the memory, but I want to remove the part which are on the up of at the top of the skirt. I can use a self collision. I can remove these parts, and I can make an extension by neighborhood. But I want to explain a small function in the interface, which is very useful sometimes. We can see there is a line here. It is not easy to see, but it is a line which is on the which is a free edge, and it is possible to, by using the Shift key, it is possible to select the first vertices. By using the Control key and the Shift key, it is possible to select the second vertices, and I can apply a circular selection. It is exactly the same as with the free edge, but it is a very useful method for selection. I will make an extension by neighborhood, and I want to remove this this new vertex selection to the memory. I press the minus memory minus, and I use the recall of the memory. I can now make a self-collision by extension using these vertices. Okay. Normally, all the selections are made, and I can use the simulate tab to start the simulation. Now I can begin the simulation. We can see that the self-collision by extension ripples the two layers to be more natural. But there is a small problem on this part. It is not natural to have this fold, small fold at the hip. It is sometimes easy to correct this, sometimes it is not. For this dress, it is not easy because the two layers are very close. But the self-collision will work correctly. I will stop the recording of the simulation, and I will restart at the end of the simulation. I restart the recording of the simulation. The simulation finished. Okay, we can see the self-collision works correctly, but there is this small default near the hip of the character. It is difficult to correct this problem because the selection has been used by removing many characters on the hip, on the top of the skirt, and if we remove more vertices, there is we take the risk to have more interpenetrations between the two layers on the top of the dress. Okay, I can send the animation to the host. I will stop the recording because there is no interest to see the progress of the importation. So I stop the recording. I restart the recording of the importation. Okay. You can look at the simulation. The self-collision is correct. There is no problem. But there is some default here just here at the top of the dress of the skirt, because all this part here is not it is not rigidified by springs using neighborhood, and it is not managed by the self-collision. So there is a small problem, and it is for this reason I create a third tutorial which will use another method. Thank you for looking at this tutorial. Bye.